There has never been a better time than now to come join the Pelletier Foods team. Pelletier has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Pelletier Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit bellicioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Pelletier team today. Visit bellicioFoods.com/careers to learn more.
Well, happy Tuesday. That's really like Monday, everyone. And welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we have a group of guests today, which is super duper exciting because we're going to talk about all things scouting. And we're so happy to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
We're
well, of course.
Absolutely.
Well, you know you're welcome anytime. So first off, tell everybody who you are in case they don't know. You're going to have to talk at least once.
Just once. I'm Ryan Pelletier. I am the Scoutmaster of Troop 70, 56 in Wellston, Ohio.
I'm Rylan Pelletier.
She's with us.
My name is Edna Mayberry. I'm the District Executive for the Frontier District of the Kenton Council.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time to memorize all that. Good for you.
No, and I've only been there since September.
Well, welcome. Yeah. We're so glad to have you here. But so I don't even know where to start because there's so much to talk about. But you all are actually here because there is kind of a special day of giving coming up. And we'll talk about that, of course, because it's super duper important. But then I want to talk about scouting just in general and why would people participate and why Rylan is here as a Boy Scout, which is super cool.
Yeah, we can explain that too.
Yeah, we can explain that too.
Right. Day of Giving tomorrow.
So it's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. That's why we're here today, to kind of get the word out to folks. That's why I brought my good friend Edna May here, because she can explain that a lot better than I can.
She eloquently can explain it.
She really can.
Yes.
So it's important to us in southeastern Ohio because there's a lot of families that have youth they would like to get involved in scouting, and it's expensive for them. So that's kind of why we're here. And Edna May, you can take off and explain the
so we're here to talk about Day of Giving. This is the Frontier District's Community Day of Giving. So we're asking people to give to promote scouting in your area. $175 can support one scout. And so the Kenton Council's goal is to support 1,000 scouts. For the Frontier District, the goal we've set for ourselves is for 300 scouts.
Okay.
So 175 will support one scout in your area. Gifts that are larger, if you get to like the $500 level, you can support a scout and their ability to go to day camp, which is a week in the summer where they make memories, have lots of fun. It's something that if you talk to kids in scouting about, that they remember forever. If you get to the $1,000 level, which is our Cornerstone Society level, you're supporting not only a scout, you're supporting their chance to have a real life-changing experience at one of our high adventure bases, at the Philmont Ranch, something that they'll remember forever. Doing a trek at Philmont, going to the high adventure base in Florida, just lots of things that that really impact a kid, and very exciting.
Yeah, totally is.
Absolutely.
So let's talk for a minute, and I'm talking in reality here, so don't think that we're being whiny babies or anything like that. But let's talk for a minute about the things that you and I spoke of off camera, and that is, let's just be honest. We live in Appalachia, which is amazing, and there's so many good things about it, but also we probably don't have the money that folks in Dublin and Upper Arlington and the fancy suburbs in Cincinnati and whatever have. So why is it important for people in this area kind of to help these scouts?
Well, I can tell you from a personal aspect that getting out of scouts as a youth, becoming an adult, and then I was involved with my stepson until he became an Eagle. once you're a parent and you get involved in Scouts, then the sort of the motto back then was to let's hit the families up and see if they can donate to Scouts, which is already tough because you're already paying for your child to be in Scouts and you're working every day and trying to make it go. So what's important about what your question is Edna May from Simon Kenton Council have decided let's not hit the families up anymore. Let's not go to the bread and butter of our scouting program in Southeastern Ohio. Let's ask businesses that maybe want to get involved and donate. So that's kind of the spinoff this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we Boy Scouts can count, it's the most comprehensive leadership program that young kids can be a part of, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. And they teach leadership and service in a way that kids don't even realize this is what they're learning. They think that they're going camping and they're hiking, which they are, and they're building Pinewood Derby cars, and they're making new friends and making friends all across the country. But what they walk away with at the end is that those are the leaders that stand up in your community. Yep. Those are the people in your community that donate and vote and give and volunteer. Boy Scouts have walked on the moon. They've sat in the Oval Office. They've, run the bases at major league stadiums. And we are very proud of those Scouts. But I'm even prouder of the Scouts that are amazing parents. They're amazing employees. They're in the community. They're making an actual difference every day in the community you live in. And this is what I want for our kids. We all know that, like you said, we live in Appalachia. Graduation rates aren't amazing. But if I can get a kid in Scouts, keep them for 5 years, I triple their chance of graduating from high school.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's huge here. And that's just 5 years.
That's amazing.
If a child can become an Eagle Scout, so 4 out of every 100 kids that join Scouting become Eagle Scouts. It's a huge honor. We have one here.
Yay, right.
With us. And we actually have our first female Eagle Scout in the Frontier District out of Ironton.
Really?
And so very exciting for us. But it opens so many doors that might not be opened. I grew up in Southern Ohio. You need a little bit of help sometimes to open those amazing doors. But, so many kids that succeed come from Scouting. So many leaders of business and religion and everything in this country. 3 out of every 4 of those was a Scout in some way.
Mm-hmm. Because you're instilling values into these kids that they don't even know that they're learning, along the way. And they're starting at a very young age, and, they're just being taught the normal everyday common sense things sometimes that unfortunately is lacking in society today. But no, they're learning to be leaders, and they're learning to be self-starters, and all of that just through osmosis, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
They don't really know that what we're setting them up to do by taking them camping is to be the kind of leader that makes a decision not just for themselves, but for their team. We're setting them up to lead collaboratively.
Right.
We're setting them up to serve others before themselves. We're teaching them God and country values, all of these things that will set them up to succeed for life.
And become natural at it. So
it becomes just who you are.
You just
Commissioner Haller has a great story about when he left Jackson County and went to the military.
Yes.
And was able to, he didn't realize it at the time, but he led a squadron of men just because he was an Eagle Scout. They picked him. They had, who here is an Eagle Scout? And he and one other person raised their hands, and they were tasked with leading, and he was good at it. For me, besides having a family, the next most important decision I made was made for me by my parents. My father, my grandfather was to be in Scouts.
Sure.
And to stay there and stay with it. And it shaped who I am today and what I do for a living. And without Scouts, I don't know what I would do or what I would have became, I guess. So it's very important in our house. Scouting program is.
Well, and again, going back to our Appalachian roots here, and again, not knocking our area. We have, we talk about it all the time, how blessed we are to live here with the beauty and all of the folks are just so nice and caring around here. But also, kids might not have as many opportunities to learn and to do these type of things. And scouting opens the door for them to do. I mean, the world is your oyster, man.
When I was in Scouts, we would go almost every weekend somewhere.
Yeah.
We went spelunking or caving.
Spelunking.
Spelunking, yes.
That sounds way more cool.
Is that a good name for it?
Are we allowed to say that on TV?
I think so. We went caving. I ushered at Ohio State football games, Ohio State Michigan game. I was an usher.
So you got to be there for free?
I got to be there. And at the time, I was young, and I thought that was normal. That was, as you know, that is not normal.
No.
To go to the shoe for a Ohio State
for
Michigan game, right? And I was there for free, just so people where their seats are. That was important. So I went to Sea Base, summer camp every summer. We went all over the place. And like Edna May mentioned, when you're younger, you just think that's what everyone's doing, right? But
right.
It wasn't.
Yeah, everyone's having this much fun with their friends.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun, and it got me out of Jackson County, Ohio, and experience a little part of the world with some really cool people.
Sure. And I think that's huge. I mean, it's just invaluable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they say, like kids that live in this area, a lot of them won't ever experience anything outside of Jackson County or outside of, going to Chillicothe, which is like the big city, right?
Right.
But if you can invest a kid young in showing them that they're part of a greater picture, they're part of this country, that everything that everyone else has can also belong to them, that they're not limited by where they come from.
Correct.
And Scouts shows them that world, and not just on paper, they show them the world, they open it up to them. And so that's why it's so important to not have finance be the thing that stops a kid, and so
Absolutely.
by all of the money that is raised here in the Frontier District stays in the Frontier District to help these kids. It doesn't go, to help kids in Upper Arlington. It stays here for these
That's
kids.
important.
Yeah, to let them be scouts, to help them go to camp, to, just so many amazing opportunities. World Jamboree is in South Korea this year. These are the kind of things that those kids have the opportunities to be parts of delegations that go to these things.
And so for $175, you can make this happen for one scout. And I mean, again, there is no, every kid isn't good at football and every kid isn't good at golf or baseball or basketball or whatever. This is one more opportunity that kids have to excel and to be part of something. And, $175 gets a kid there. And that is huge. It could be literally life-changing, as you said.
It is life-changing. I can assure you of that. It really is.
I mean, you have a fire chief sitting here and flat out said, you don't know where you'd be today without
I really
Scouts.
don't. I mean, I had great family upbringing. I don't want to take away from that, but I don't know what path I would have chosen had it not been for the leadership that I learned and didn't realize I learned.
Sure.
At all. I wasn't, when you're a senior patrol leader and you're running the troop, you don't realize that everything you do is for a reason, to shape you and get you ready for life. So, and that is exactly what the scouting program does. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, girls and Boy Scouts.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because we have a beautiful young lady that's sitting here with a Boy Scout uniform on. Now, how are we doing that?
Well, I told you earlier that scouting is important, and we learn lots of life lesson skills like change. Change can be good.
Yes.
So I was involved in Troop 57 out of Wellston with my stepson. So every summer I was an adult leader that would go to camp.
Okay.
So Rylan would come out and visit me on Wednesday, which was family night. and she enjoyed that. So we are in the middle of 2019, as Edna may refresh my memory. The Scouts of America allowed girls into Boy Scouts. We'll use that term, okay? Ryan Pelletier was skeptical about it. I was nervous. It was change. It was a big change.
None of us like change.
None of us like change. I felt like the Girl Scouts was there for girls, and it still is, by the way. Very important, huge program. I come home from work, and I turn on the news on the television, and Rylan is sitting there, and up on the news, it's made national news, right? It's a national
You're like,
headline.
oh no.
And it really made national news without anyone like embedded in the councils even finding out. So most
So you found out with
They did.
everybody
They
else.
did.
found out on CNN.
So did I. So boom, it's on the TV, and Rylan's on the couch, and she goes, "Oh, Dad, I get to go to camp with you now." And I went, I just froze and went, "Yeah, yes, you do. You're right."
Darn you, CNN.
She goes, "Well, I want to be in Scouts." So I approached Troop 57, and I learned that to be a girl in Scouts, it has to be a separate troop from the boys.
So
Different. You can't.
there's girl troops within Boy Scouts.
So
That's
when they're
correct.
Cub Scouts, which is so Cub Scouts is ages 5 to 11. They are at meetings together in their dens. But once you get after you've crossed over to Scouts BSA, which is our kids that are
What's BSA stand for?
Boy Scouts of America.
Oh, duh.
So they're
It's okay.
they're 11 to 18. And so there you have separate girls and boys troops.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
to the age where it might get a little bit hairy.
And they do activities together. Like if they're working on a merit badge, that is done sometimes together. It just depends on what the interests of your troops are.
Okay.
And then they're all so you have troops, and then they form like a larger pack situation.
Yep.
So, so everyone is, in order to do larger activities, we do them together.
Makes sense.
We
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. We camp in our own tents.
We had.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And I had there were some key people involved at the very beginning, and without those key people, I don't know what we would have done, because I didn't know how to start an all-girls troop.
You're like, oh, great. Here we
in
go.
Wellston, Ohio. So fortunately, I had Deanna Bragg, who knows a lot about the scouting program.
Okay.
And had an adventure crew before which adventure was for boys and girls. So she had some knowledge, and then we had Barb Wasmer out of Oak Hill,
Okay.
who is a super scout. I don't know if you know Barb. How would you describe Barb, you think?
Barb is the best thing that has ever happened to a district executive ever. So, Boy Scouts of America, there are very few of us that are professional scouts. And so it is a volunteer-led organization. And so Barb gives, 90% of her time
That's the
to
truth.
Boy Scouts.
That's
And
what
that's
she does.
maybe like not quite as much as she normally gives. Barb is amazing. She's my membership chair. And if you can imagine what it's like trying to recruit kids in a time of COVID, when the recruitment model was to go into a school and talk to kids
Right.
about an amazing adventure they could go on. And now you're just handing them flyers and hoping that they take them home, or hoping that the school gives them out. She has, managed to still recruit these amazing kids. So Barb's amazing.
Barb is cool. So
Barb was my scout leader.
Oh,
You know,
Oh,
Barb,
James, were
see?
you a Boy Scout?
I was a Cub Scout.
He was a
I didn't
Cub Scout.
continue with it outside of Cub Scout.
and
Gotcha.
Barb is an amazing Cub Scout leader. Like
She is.
she's creative, and she teaches them. I mean, her kids are incredible.
And then I had to find a home base, which typically scouts are involved with churches. So I happen to know a
Okay.
guy whose name is John Boy, who happens to be involved
I got
in
a
church.
guy.
Or I got a guy, right? So, of course, I call my dad.
You're like,
and,
hey, Dad.
Hey. What do you think about an all-girls troop? He's like, okay, let's do it. So we put all those pieces together. My wife says, you're nuts. Like, are you nuts? Like, you're going to lead
Didn't we
a
establish
group
that a
of
long
all
time ago?
girls? We did. Exactly. So to do that, I have to have 2 adult females with me at all times, which is smart, right? So
Yeah,
it's
makes
myself,
sense.
and I've got Kathy Helms, my assistant scoutmaster, and Barb, and I have a lot of good folks that are helping me along this journey. So we went last year to our first summer camp as a troop.
Okay.
We're going again this year. We've done some other activities. We did some fundraisers at the fairgrounds. So we're trying. We're in there.
So how many girls do you have in the troop right now?
I have 5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So what has been your favorite thing that you've done so far as a Girl Scout or as a Boy Scout?
Making friends and going to camp.
Making friends and going to camp?
She's good at. She's good at making friends. And
I
good
could
at
see
camp.
that.
Yeah, she is.
It's genetic.
It is, yeah. She needs to get a little bit more friendlier with the microphone to be in this family, but no, she's good. No, we're having fun with it. We really are.
No, that's exciting.
Yeah, I've got 2 young ladies who are sophomores in high school, and they're about to rank to the rank of star. And then after star is life, and then eagle, and their goals are to be eagles. So I'm trying to get them there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's very exciting for us. We had our first female eagle in the district in Ironton. And so that's it's a huge step forward for girls in Scouts BSA.
That's right.
And for the boys, this is important real quick, is as a youth male at summer camp, this to adults when they merged, when they allowed girls into scouting, it was a big deal to adults, right? We kind of thought, what are they doing, right? But maybe.
We're thinking too much about it.
Our youth boys, if you were to go out to summer camp, any of the summer camps, a majority of the merit badge counselors were girls.
Uh-huh.
So for the boys, it's not uncommon for them to be there. So
Okay.
they really didn't skip a beat.
Well, and if you think
okay,
about it, the
there's
world
girls
is co-ed.
Yeah.
So having a comprehensive leadership program, it feels right that you should learn to, both boys and girls should learn to lead in a co-ed environment because the world is co-ed.
Sure, you're exactly right. And as you pointed out when we were speaking earlier, the girls were there anyway. So let's talk about that for a minute. The family unit, it's so much easier to not have to drag, Susie to here and Bobby to there and whatever. If everybody can just be together, it's great.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the, thinking other than, teaching leadership in a co-ed environment is amazing. But a lot of thinking it's a practical thinking. Families only have so much time.
Right.
I mean, it's limited, and there are a lot more demands on our time that come in all the time. Most of these girls were already here. They were here. They were participating as siblings. We have sibling rates for campouts, like a district. So we'll have a Halloween camp one weekend in October. And there's always been the opportunity to bring siblings there. So why not recognize the girls for all of the time they're putting in?
I was going to say they're paying their dues anyway. Let them be part of it.
Yeah, they're there doing their thing. And, it is astounding to me sometimes, like when you actually can go into school and talk, the engagement you get out of little girls. And I have a little pack in Kingston, Ohio that I have been working with to kind of revitalize and kind of bring their numbers up. And they have to find a new chartering organization, which is usually a church. And so theirs isn't going to be that anymore. And I had a little girl come with her brother, and I gave them Pinewood Derby kits for Christmas because it's Pinewood season right now for Cub Scouts. And her mom said, well, can I buy one for her? And I was like, oh, I thought she was here to be a scout. And she was like, she can't be because we do let the chartering org decide if they'll support a girl pack, which is why Ryan went and so in Wellston, we have 2 different chartering org churches. And I said, no, we have to find anyone anyway. And, I think that the kind of chartering org I'd like to partner will be fine with her being here. And the joy in her face, she ran around the room holding her Pinewood Derby car above her head, screeching, I get to race my own car.
That's so good.
She was so happy. She was so happy because she had seen it. Her brothers are in the 3rd grade. So she'd been there and she'd just kind of been the tag-along sibling, but she is going to race her own car. And I have to say, she's super competitive. She's a firecracker. I bet she wins.
Yeah, that's right, girl. We'll help you out.
Hey, let's go back just a second and give a shout out to this young lady. That's Sammy Anderson. She's the Eagle Scout from Ironton you mentioned.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. Way to go, girlfriend.
She's amazing. So when you get to be an Eagle Scout, you have an Eagle project that is kind of the culmination of everything that you do. And then you have an Eagle board where you teaching leadership and teaching all of that, where you have to sit down with a bunch of adults and they ask you questions.
so they
which
like
is,
interview you.
yeah, very intimidating, right? I know several people who sat on her board and they said that she was one of the best Eagle boards that they had ever sat on.
Wow.
And she has a twin brother who reached rank at the same time as her Eagle. So it's all in the
cool.
family there.
Yeah.
I personally believe that you'll see in the future, I think the girl Eagle rate will probably surpass the boys in the future. I mean this because honestly, girls reach maturity faster
For
than
a lot
boys.
of reasons,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Honestly. So I really believe that and being an Eagle Scout, I know how hard it was for me to stay in to finish.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have that with girls myself personally. So
And
it's pretty cool.
this is a hard one to sell to kids because the thing is, like, all the stuff we're talking about, the leadership and all of that, this is not how we sell Boy Scouts to kids. You know, we talk about fun and doing all this. So this is a hard one to like impress upon high school kids. But if you attain the rank of Eagle, there are hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of scholarships that are only available to Eagle Scouts.
Yep.
I mean, the money that is on the table to further your education or your trade or whatever path you choose to take. Again, destiny changing.
Yeah.
You know, you're exactly right. You know, you hear about, oh, you played for Ohio State football, we'll give you a job, or, you know, that kind of thing. Same thing with Eagle Scouts. Mm-hmm. Oh, you were an Eagle Scout. It's a fraternity that's not huge, and that can be really,
it's not huge,
really,
but it's a very powerful group of people, and sometimes
very
it gets you
powerful.
volunteered for jobs you didn't really want.
It really does. It's
But
kind of
no,
amazing.
it is. I could see where someone would be like, okay, I'm deciding, you know, amongst 3 candidates here for a job. This one was an Eagle Scout. I was an Eagle Scout.
Well, and even
Right.
like if you have 3 candidates for a job and you look at it and one is an Eagle Scout, if you think about the 18 years of commitment that it took to become an Eagle Scout, or even just if they joined at that, you know, at the Scouts BSA level at 11 years old.
Yes.
I mean, it's 1% of all Eagle Scouts are what we call unicorn Eagles, which are kids that started Cub Scouts in the 1st grade
Okay.
and Eagle out. 1% of all Eagles are people who did that.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, all of it is an amazing accomplishment. But if I had 3 candidates in front of me and one of them was an Eagle Scout for pretty much any job, I'd be like, we'll top of the pile.
There's no way that person doesn't have some drive and motivation and critical thinking skills and all of that.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible to achieve without.
It is a pretty grueling process. There are required merit badges.
Yes, there are.
We could let Ryan talk about
As Ryan's cooking.
and the swimming
Absolutely.
merit badge.
Swimming merit badge.
Swimming?
Oh, yep. There is.
Is that not your forte?
You know, maybe not. I can swim. I mean,
Can you swim with swimmies on?
But yes, with floaties on. Again, with scouting, I learned to swim in scouting.
Yeah.
I learned to cook in scouting. All those things that I didn't realize at the time I was doing is what I do today. So that's what I tell people, you know, everywhere I go. They're like, so how long you been a firefighter? 25 years. You know, that's a big accomplishment. I've been chief since 2014 or whatever it is. But the most important thing I did was scouts. And they're like, really? Oh, okay.
Well, and to choose a service career like that, you know, to say, I want to be a firefighter, a policeman, you know, all of these things, not a glamorous career, but to choose that kind of service organization. 85% of all FBI agents have been a scout at some point in their life.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
So these are really the people you want in your community.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how do we help more kids become scouts? Well, we give tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have
Right.
tomorrow, and you know, you can give either by calling 614-436-7200. The website you can give out is kind of a mouthful. It's www.skcscouts.org/day of giving, Or if you Google Day of Giving, Boy Scouts Day of Giving, it will pop right up to the top. And so you can give in that way. Also, here in the Frontier District, we are always looking for adults to volunteer and scouts to join. And you can do that by going to www.beascout.org, and it will direct you via zip code to the closest scout group in your area.
Now, if you go to this this website to give, will it allow you to give to a specific area?
When you give, you should designate your gift as Frontier District in the notes section.
Okay.
If it asks you for a unit to give to, you can go to Be a Scout and put your zip code in and find the units in your area, and you can designate that as a gift to your unit.
That's where you find
He's like,
us.
what?
That's where you find.
That's where you find us.
Yes,
No.
That's right.
Which it doesn't go to our troop. I mean, it just goes.
Yeah, it just stays here in the
stays here in
Frontier
this area.
District to help.
Campership.
Yep.
I didn't mention campership, like scholarship, right? Campership.
Okay.
Camper-
Are we allowed to say that on TV?
Can you say campership?
We said spelunking.
We said spelunking. We're going somewhere today. Campership is what helps scouts go to camp, summer camp, which can be expensive. What is summer camp roughly? Do you know?
I mean, summer camp I think is between $300 and $500 depending on where you choose to go.
Wow. Okay.
And that is,
Per kid.
That is just going.
Yeah,
that doesn't.
there's summer camps
count
all over the
all
country.
the stuff you have to take with you
Right.
for summer camp.
Yeah.
So camperships come through, and you fill out an application, and Kenton Council pays for that for you in that program. So a lot of these dollars go to camperships.
Okay.
Our youth would not go to summer camp without. I promise you, in our region, campership is huge for
Okay.
these kids to go to camp.
And you know, again, being a Boy Scout is huge and amazing, but camp is like game changing.
That is game changer. Yep, that's what keeps us in Scouts is those fun outdoor.
Yeah, absolutely.
activities.
And camp, they go to camp one of 9 weeks. 9 weeks at Falling Rock.
Yep.
They choose one of 9 weeks. It's not that the Frontier District goes 1 week. They choose, the individual troop chooses what week they go. So they're there with kids from all over, not only the Kenton Council, but from really a tri-state area.
Oh, wow.
Because Falling Rock is an incredible camp. So
Absolutely.
it pulls a lot of people in. It's in Newark, so it pulls a lot of people in from a lot of areas. But camp is, for some people, I think camp is why they stay, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
And the goal with Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts is to do some sort of outdoor activity once a month. So
like that.
yeah, so troops camp, once a month if they can.
Yep.
Sometimes, like we have upcoming in the district in February, we have our Klondike camp at Camp Oyo, which is in
February.
That sounds cold.
Yeah, it's in down in Shawnee. Is it Forest Shawnee State Park?
Yeah,
Forest,
State Park.
Is that outside?
It is outside.
It is
Yeah.
some of it. Now we have rented cabins for the younger scouts, but part of being a scout is learning all those outdoor
Survival things,
yeah,
right?
and you get frost points if you sleep in a tent,
Oh.
which I'm not sure what they get you in the long run. But
Yeah,
other than street cred.
Yeah.
Cred. I like that. Hey, that's enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Very cool.
Klondike's a fun camp and a lot of memories for me growing up. So
Are you going?
we're talking about it. We're trying to see
Okay.
if we can make that go. We're definitely going to go. We got some merit badge work coming up for first aid work coming up. So we're doing it. We're having fun doing it too.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to make you talk again. So, what merit badges have you earned so far?
There we go.
I think
Well, she's got her second class and now she's first class. And so she's working on merit badges and we just did one. Emergency what? You remember?
emergency preparedness.
Emergency preparedness. Yep. We just
Okay.
did that.
And what'd you have to do for that?
We had to go to the fire station and do like what do you call it? I don't know.
We had to learn how to be prepared for emergencies, whether it be
I mean,
storm emergencies like snow emergencies or fire emergencies, right? We learn how to be more prepared at home and everywhere we go. Like what to put in a car for, which I think you have. Did you do a show on that already?
well,
Or
no,
something like that?
I think we've talked about that, but that was something I was thinking of the other day where I turned on the news. I don't know. It's probably a week or two ago now. And those poor people got stuck in
Oh, they did,
Virginia on
yeah.
the highway.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
were basically, FaceTiming into the news places and whatever. And, there they are with no food. And a lot of them had dogs with them and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And it's like, so I was thinking about that. Oh my God. Like, you never know when that's going to happen. You should always have something in your
car.
vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We use a lot of statistics based on 100 kids, right? So we talk about this a lot of, and we talk about, 100 kids, 100 adults. It's a nice number to distill statistics for. But if you ask 100 adults that have been in scouting, one of them will say that they have used their scouting skills to save someone else's life.
Yeah.
And two of them will usually tell you that they have used their scouting skills to save their own lives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it is, I still remember stuff I learned in Girl Scouts, like, the one match fire, and all the, that whole be prepared,
Sure.
be prepared. It does sort of start to just instill like in you, like as a kid, when you go camping, people bring all of your own stuff, and then you start to learn like, what do we need to bring? What do we need to do? And so watching troops that have patrols. So patrols are like sort of smaller areas, and you're really watching the kids lead their own program. The scoutmaster is there as a facilitator, but really like watching these kids lead their own program, choose the path that they're going to learn about. Are they more camping focused? Are they a STEM focused group? All of that is, it's amazing to watch these kids that, especially a lot of them that would barely talk when they walked in. That like Rylan, when she's an Eagle Scout, she'll just be here talking. We won't even be here with her.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because it just takes a while to get used to doing it.
Sure.
But once they do.
But those are life
amazing.
skills again that are invaluable. Like,
yeah, owning your voice, owning your the path of, we don't dictate to Boy Scouts in troops what they have to do.
Right.
They sit down with their leadership and they decide.
It's youth-led.
Youth-led.
So Scouts is a youth-led program. So as the adult, I would sit down with the girls and say, or the boys, whoever I'm leading, and give them some suggestions, and then they would take off and plan their day, plan their menu for the camp out, what they're going to eat, what they're going to do, what merit badges they may want to focus on at camp. It's all up to them. Yeah.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
She likes it.
She does.
You may not think so, but she does. Well, very good. Is there anything else you guys wanted to touch on? Would you like to touch on a little preparedness while you're here? Put maybe your fire chief hat on for a second.
Oh my, yeah. Well, this storm was interesting, right?
Well, this is really ridiculous because I was thinking about this back to the back to the Virginia thing. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, if I was stuck in the car with my dog, she has a kit. I have a kit in my car for my dog because we travel all the time. But I don't have anything for myself.
Well, when my wife was working at Adina,
what's wrong with us?
I put a bag in the car for her, a couple bottles of water. You got to talk about water for a minute. You don't want to take a case of water with you because what happens when you drink all that water? Do you know what do you got to do? Right?
You got to
get rid of it. You got to get rid of it, right? So you don't want to take a lot of water. You want to take, probably 2-3 bottles per person. Just put it in a bag. That way you can quench your thirst. You're not looking for
or get dehydrated. If you're
dehydrated. You're looking to try to sustain yourself for 24 to 48 hours. So a little bit of food, but what's really important is like a candle, one of those 24-hour candles that you can burn.
Oh.
And just take a soup can that you've eaten, wash it out, and drop the candle in there. Put it in the bag. That way you can set the candle on the dash. Light the candle. You got a little bit of light, and then the heat from the can will kind of keep you warm.
Okay.
And simple, not a big deal.
Where do you get those? Amazon? Like everything
else.
That's where everything comes
probably Amazon. Yeah. Now you should be able to get that at any local store. So those are a few tips that you could take with you. A blanket, is important.
Blanket in your
A
vehicle.
blanket in your vehicle.
Probably
Things like that. If you're going to travel to Columbus or you're going to go somewhere, make sure you have those things with you in case you slide off the road or
Yeah.
you
And
want
it
to be
may take a
noticed.
while for
Yeah.
somebody to get to you.
Absolutely. Just
Most of our phones have flashlights now. Something I too carry with me all the time because I've gotten stuck a couple of times and they last forever. And it's just like the little battery packs that you can plug your phone into.
Mm-hmm.
My God, they'll last for days.
days.
Or mine does. I don't know. And it wasn't very expensive. So things like that.
To charge
that
your
if-
phone with is important because you need the phone to try to get a hold of someone. Get
Correct.
some help.
Yeah. So it's like if your car's not running or whatever and you don't have the charger thing. So, okay. So a couple bottles of water,
Yeah.
maybe some granola bars, something like
Granola
that.
bars, some kind of food, something easy. You're not wanting to. You don't have to take the store with you, right?
No, right.
You're not like my father. You don't have to prepare a cooler this big full of food.
So Jamie and I were discussing that the other day. We're like, okay, so we're going to get the snow. Probably not going to want to leave the house. Like, he was like, I don't know what everyone panics about. Like, you could open, it might not be what you want to eat,
Right.
but he's like, we could literally live in this house on the junk that we've got in our cabinet for like over a week.
Everyone could.
We're just gluttonous, spoiled brats.
The biggest thing is to stay calm and not panic. Slow down a little bit, and everything will be all right. That's how I move.
Yep. Hey, the good news
Very
is when
slow.
it's this cold outside, if your fridge goes out, just throw everything outside. Put it in the
Outside.
snow.
I spent a long time of my professional year in the South, like in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I will have to just say that, like, if this happens there, which it did this last time, they won't go anywhere for weeks.
Yeah.
Like, they
they're
would send you
complete
home.
panic mode.
They'd
It'll
be
shut
like,
you down.
you got to go home. It's getting bad. And you look outside and then you're like, wait, that's 2 snowflakes. That's not even flurries. And they're like, no, you got to go home.
My aunt, same thing. She would send me messages. She worked at Duke for a while. She'd be like, so they're sending us home, and she like send pictures out. There's like, dusting of snow on the ground, but
Nothing left in the grocery store.
all the milk sandwiches are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All of that. Well, very good. Okay, so let's go over tomorrow,
Yep.
Day of Giving, why it's important for folks in this area to help our local scouts and how they can do so.
So really important to help your local scouts because we are in a lower income area. It is hard for parents to find that $175 to send their kid to scouts. And Ryan and I have talked about this. If you think about that's just one kid. So if you have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, like you're looking at quite a hefty amount of money for kids to do this. We in the Kenton Council don't ever want finance to be a barrier to kids participating in Scouts. So you can give at www.skcscouts.org/Day of Giving. You can just Google Kenton Council Day of Giving, or you can call 614-436-7200. The person that's going to answer the phone is going to ask what district you'd like to give in, and eventually you're going to be just directed to me so we can talk on the phone.
Oh, well, there you go.
So very exciting. And there is swag. I mentioned swag on the radio. I didn't mention swag here. If you give $175, you get a really cool patch because Boy Scouts are all about their patches.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it.
So you get a really cool council patch. At $500, you get a wireless phone charger. And if you join the Cornerstone Society, which is $1,000, you get a really cool Yeti-like insulated tumbler.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of swag to show that you support the Scouts. And we are looking to support 300 Scouts here in the Frontier District. And all of that money that you raise stays right here.
Yeah.
There you go. So 300 of you get going.
Yeah.
Or
That'd be
more.
great.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're excited about it because Ed and I understand, the financial difficulties. I know firsthand parents who want to join our troop and they realize there's a cost barrier We don't want that.
No,
And we want them to be able to join at any cost and participate in the program.
You know, and again, kids in our area have it hard enough, so they don't need to be different in that manner. Also, you know,
Nope, not at all.
Yep. So we're just, we're appealing to the community on our day of giving to give a little bit back and to kind of pay it forward, because you're giving it back for a kid to join Scouts, and that kid will stay in your community and they're going to do amazing things here in these communities.
yeah, they are. And, you know, you're just helping them along.
Yep.
You're just investing a little bit of money.
You're investing, like literally. And think about that.
People
to change
say,
a kid's life.
You know, in today's society, our youth are different, right? You hear this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Kids today,
they have no respect. Well, if you're one of those folks that you feel that way, then scouting is your direction. You can invest in scouting, because I can assure you this generation is not that way.
Yeah.
They're respectful. We were talking about this out here waiting to come in.
They always call me Miss when they don't know my name, because I like to see my packs and my troops. And having just started in September.
Sure.
So I've made a lot of forays out into the community. I've pumpkin raced. I've made 1 million s'mores already. Oh my gosh, what all have I? I've just done all of these. I've been to the Jackson Apple Festival to watch people march. It's just anything people invite me to, I go. I went to a ton of Christmas parties. But they all call me Miss because they don't know my name. And they're always like, Miss, come look at my Pinewood Derby car. I am most excited about Pinewood.
That's so cute.
That, you know, that's really neat, because we've lost a lot of manners, in my opinion. In this day and age. So the fact that they call her Miss is just fantastic. I'm one of those. You're going to get ma'am, sir, Mr. Out of me, whether you like it or not. So that's just the way I'm wired and was raised. So
yeah.
If you're one of those folks that
Nothing
you feel
wrong with that
you don't like the way society is, then maybe you could partner with us.
Yeah.
And
I
help
love
change our
that.
youth. Yeah.
Well, and it's,
be part of the solution, not the problem.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Southern Ohio has fundamentals based in God and country. We all grew up here. We know that. That's what we love about Southern Ohio, not just the beautiful hiking trails. It's that base values of how we were all taught. That's Boy Scouts base values: God, country, service to others. And this is, and that's how we create amazing kids.
That's right. I know I've told this story 100,000 times here, but I think it goes along with what you're saying. You know, in the restaurant business, you have a lot of folks, like, people don't understand how many folks stay in Jackson, Ohio, that are traveling or around our area, come to the Big Rock cabins or, you know, and stay here. And I'm just telling you, I get it at least once a day. Everyone here is so nice.
Yeah.
Like, you walk down the street and say hi to people somewhere else and they like run from you.
Right.
And they're like, we walked from the hotel and got some, like, 5 people said hi to us. I'm like, yeah. And at first I didn't realize like how important that is. So these are what make us special. And these are the things that we need to keep teaching these kids.
We are special. Like, everyone knows I'm very pro Wellston. I'm pro Jackson County.
Sure.
I don't know if you ever thought about this, but think about this for a minute. Where else in southeastern Ohio do you know there are 2 beautiful cities in the same county? Just think about that for a minute. Where are there 2 other cities in a county? There really isn't. We're special.
Yeah.
We have the city of Wellston, the city of Jackson. We have beautiful Oak Hill and Colton. I mean, we're very special, and we have great businesses. We have great people. And a place to raise a family is right here. Yeah. In my opinion. That's just my opinion. Edna May, I know you don't live here.
No, I mean,
in Jackson County, but
I grew up in, in Stoutsville, Ohio, which is in between Circleville and Lancaster. And, one of the most exciting things about taking this job was the ability to be able to work with kids that grew up in the same situation I grew up in.
Sure.
I know Southern Ohio. It's got its pros and its cons. But then to be able to give the gift of scouting to all of these kids to show them not only that they can take pride in their community, but they're also a part of a greater world too.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that is an incredibly valuable thing that scouting teaches that maybe not everything else teaches. We're not trying to pull these kids out of this community and say that this is better, this is better. We're wanting them to invest in the community and also then in the greater world.
Well, and yeah, to expose them to the bigger world that's out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's amazing. You guys are great, and thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you for spending your day off with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to bring her with me.
Had to get her up early and everything.
Yeah, she does not exactly like to get up for school. I think she likes school, right? Getting up's the tough part. But this morning she popped right up and we were ready to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to go to school. I'm good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what will you do the rest of the day on a snow day?
She's going to spend it with her mom. I'm going to work. She's going to go home and work with her mom.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Do you make snow ice cream or anything good?
Oh, that's an idea. I forgot about that.
I know.
It
I
does
had
exist,
too.
doesn't it?
I saw one of my friends from high school posted that they made snow ice cream yesterday. And I was like,
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. I never thought of that.
I have 17 acres worth of snow out there other than what the dog's taking care of.
We know
Don't eat
what's
the
on the
yellow
menu.
snow.
We know what's on the menu at the
There you go.
restaurant.
Archet snow ice
Special
cream.
dessert tonight.
If it's yellow, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Gotcha.
I promise you, I wouldn't do that to you. All right. Well, is there anything else that you
No.
wanted to talk about? We appreciate
You've
y'all
been
so
great.
much for,
Thank you so much for
spending
having
your
us.
morning with us.
Well,
Yep.
I want to give one shout out in the comments. Mark Wood, he's in the chat today, and he's going to get mad at me if I don't mention this.
Hi,
Yeah.
Mark. Happy birthday.
When I worked at the Jackson County Times Journal, my first kind of local newspaper job, one of the first things I covered was when Mark's son Clay
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
all
Clay.
of his merit badges.
Yes.
So
Look at that.
he did something really cool. Is he got every merit badge that's possible,
Yep.
right?
That is
epic.
something that
Yeah, like he did it.
I got just the amount that I needed.
Yeah.
It's 21, right? 21
Yeah.
required
No, he kept
merit
on
badges for
going.
Eagle.
Yeah.
That's amazing and epic.
Yeah, it's a really cool guy too.
Yeah, he's fun.
He is. Yep.
Yep.
That is
So there
amazing.
you go. So congratulations, Clay,
I'm
on
glad
that
you
as
brought
well.
that up.
Mark would have
Yep.
got mad if we didn't.
No, I would
mention
too.
that.
We needed to do that.
So that's pretty cool. And again, local kid does good. That's amazing.
Yep. All about it.
Yep. Very good. All right. Well, I'll let you guys
Well,
get
thank
out of
you.
here then.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk about this godforsaken weather forecast.
Good luck with that. We don't
Yeah.
want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I know. You can run. It's okay.
Everybody.
So yeah, thank y'all. So let's go on to the weather forecast, and y'all aren't going to believe this, but so today is going to be partly cloudy. They are expecting a high of 35, which is not going to last very long. Then the lows dipping back down into 30. So not much chance of it melting all of the snow overnight tonight at all. And then tomorrow on Wednesday, yeah, guess what? Good news is highs of 43, lows of 17. Bad news is more precipitation in the forecast. So from Wednesday on to Thursday overnight, there is a possibility of more snow accumulation. Don't know how much yet, but a little bit as far as I can tell. Then looking on to Thursday, much, much colder with highs of only 26, lows of 7. And what are you? Oh. She forgot her phone. Okay, I gotcha. So, yeah, so we do have more snow in the forecast, and then we have a few days, and then on Sunday, guess what? More snow in the forecast. So it may or may not continue on this week. It's probably just going to depend. Once again, the storm that we had Sunday night, it depended on whether it was going to go north or south of us. Well, it came right through and did about what they said it was going to do. And again, they're saying on that Sunday storm, same thing. Not sure exactly where it's going to go yet. So James is trying to push buttons. He's got it. He'll get it. Or not. There it is. Okay. It wasn't cooperating, was it?
It's all right. It worked.
It worked.
We
It
got
worked.
there.
Yes.
So all
yeah.
the schools are closed today, of course.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There was school closing somewhere.
Well,
Do you have it?
No, but the list you had was from yesterday.
Okay.
But it's basically they're all still closed.
Okay.
The kids from Jackson, they kind of got a little bit of a shaft from all this because they
I know.
were going to be off school both yesterday and today anyway.
They were. Hey, they'll like that come spring break when they didn't have to take calamity days.
Makeup days. So but a couple basketball games are also postponed. I want to mention that because somebody thought our Facebook post where we said which games were canceled wasn't specific enough for them.
Okay.
So apparently it needs to be clarified. So tonight, the Vinton County boys were originally scheduled to play Chillicothe, and that was going to be broadcast on the radio.
Okay.
That game has been postponed. It will not happen. And then tomorrow, this game had already been postponed, but the Vinton County girls were scheduled to play Trimble, and that game was also going to be broadcast on the radio, but it had already been postponed.
Okay.
So I hope that specifies enough, because apparently just saying tonight and tomorrow's games were
canceled
wasn't enough
for
some people.
Why didn't you know that?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. So, some fun stuff coming up this week. The folks from the Dog Pound will be here on Friday, as far as I know. We'll be talking about how you can help our furry friends and participate in the Betty White Challenge that everybody's been talking about. And if you man, I can't believe how that thing took hold.
The donating to animal shelters? Yeah.
That's so cool. So, if you would like to donate or participate in the Betty White Challenge, if you don't know what it is, we'll be telling you about that on Friday.
And of course, yesterday would have been her 100th birthday.
100th birthday of Betty White.
Did you see the Google tribute yesterday?
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. It probably doesn't still do it. I don't know. But yesterday, if you Googled Betty White, this little cartoon that said, "Thank you for being a friend" came up. And then there was I guess it was rose petals kind of thing, falling down.
So good.
It's pretty cute.
It's very seldom in the world are there so many wonderful tributes to somebody. And it just, kind of shows you the person that she was.
Yeah.
And the character that she lived by. I think that's pretty cool. So, guess the rest of the week. Who else do we have?
Pete Wilson.
Pete Wilson?
What more do you need? So since we didn't do a news report on Monday because we couldn't be bothered to go out in the snow, we probably should have made a little bit of an effort.
But I wrecked my car coming to work this morning after the snow, so like a dum-dum. In my driveway, I'm okay.
But so Pete's going to come in tomorrow morning and do a little bit of news since we didn't talk about news on
perfect
Monday.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on. I mean, snowstorms.
There's a lot of things being canceled.
Yeah, we could just sit here and read cancellations for a while.
Yeah.
But and more snow perhaps in the forecast. So again, keep your eyes open and look out the weather window, but just pay attention to your local forecast. Don't look at the New York forecast or something like that, because I think people do that.
Is it worse or better?
I don't know, but I love that.
If it's better, just look at it.
Yeah, if it's better, look at that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else we needed to talk about today?
We talked about an awful lot today. I think we talked about everything that's had to be talked about.
Okay. Well, don't forget, Boy Scouts of America, Day of Giving tomorrow. For $175, you can sponsor a scout. And, kids in this area need that.
Specify this, but you don't have to donate $175. You can donate $5 or $10
or whatever
or $20.
You want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that. But that would pay for one scout for the year.
Right.
So that's a pretty cool thing.
Those links are in the comments of the video. So,
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So click that, check it out, make a little donation.
Very
good.
You're
feeling generous, you get that tumbler.
That's right. Real generous.
Yeah.
All right. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back here tomorrow with the news and Pete Wilson, and pray that it doesn't snow again. So I will tell you, anything that melts freezes, right? Because it's going to drop way down overnight. So please be careful.
Yeah.
Even if you don't think it's slick, it is.
If it's
Trust
not
me.
now, it will
I found
be.
out in my driveway earlier.
Yeah. If it's not now, it will be.
Oh, there's a barn coming at me. Awesome. And I can do nothing about it. I'm sideways.
I think the barn is like, oh, there's a you coming at
Yeah,
me.
there's a Durango coming at
I'm
me.
just standing here minding my own business because I'm a barn.
I'm just providing shelter to the horses. I'm doing my thing. What's wrong with you?
We had an
Good
agreement.
point. Yeah.
I stand here, leave you alone,
For
give
years.
shelter to the horses,
Yeah.
and you don't run into me.
And you don't run me over. That would be fantastic. Oh, darn it. Hey, I didn't hit it, so I'm all right.
All right, very good.
Have a great day, everyone. Do be safe out there. Oh, I know. Big, huge thanks to anybody, the highway departments, the local street departments, whatever, for cleaning. And, they're out there working when the rest of us are at home making hot chocolate and saying how pretty the snow is. So want to thank them. They did a phenomenal job of getting the highways and the main roads clear. And thank you for that. So, all right. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.